Alright guys, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my experiences with cold protection regarding my fruit trees, especially my mangoes, what I have done in the past, and what I plan to do going forward. Okay, follow me. Hey everybody, how we doing? This is Orlando Backyard Gardening. Today I just wanted to talk about cold protection, my experience, and what I plan to do uh, with my trees. This is my pickering, y'all. Pickering, beautiful, huh? Nice flush. So over the years, I have done different things to protect my trees. I have even lost a lot of trees from the cold because I didn't protect anything, and that was back in the beginning days when I wasn't experienced with the super cold temps. I had a few years when I started that we didn't get real cold. We got down into the mid 30s, 40, nothing major. But then back in 20, I think it was 2018, if I'm not mistaken, in January, we got 2 days, temperatures dropped down into the high 20s. And I lost a lot of trees. I had a lot of trees that got stumped. Whatever survived, I had to stump them down, pug them down. And yeah, it was not a good year. So I've been doing different things over the years. I have used the frost cloth. Now let me tell you guys, frost cloth by itself is really not that effective. Okay, it's a little better than having nothing, but you're gonna have to really get that frost cloth bundled in layers around your tree. Smaller tree like this, you can build a little canopy, do the frost cloth, but I always suggest plastic film above it. That's all you need, and that's perfect, that works. But on small trees it's fine, but when you have larger trees like this, that's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. I no longer do that. It's just, for me, it's too much. And I know people build structures and, power to them. I just don't have that drive and energy to do all of that work by myself. So, in the long run, I want my trees to be able to fend for themselves. So, a tree like this, yeah, that structured thing, that'd be too much. But smaller trees like this, yeah, get 4 stakes, high enough that they're above the canopy, and make sure they're, kind of away from the canopy. 4 stakes, frost cloth around it. If you can do double layer, that's good. 1 layer on top, and then the plastic around it and cover it as well. Now, what you can do is make it so you can take the plastic, open it up, when it gets warm. But the frost cloth itself, you can keep that on all the time because light does go through. You just want to make sure that if you're using the plastic and it gets hot, kind of open it up, be able to open it up so it airs out, okay? And then when it gets cold again, just close it back up. That has worked great for me. It was like a little greenhouse, and my trees that I covered that way did very well. So if you're gonna do that, you're fine. That's what I would suggest. Because frost cloth by itself, trust me, doesn't really do much. Does not really do much. What I'm doing, what I have started doing since last season, and what I'm gonna do again this season, is use hydration. Now, I don't know if you ever heard, but people always say, yeah, water your trees good before the cold comes. And you're probably saying, oh, that's counterintuitive. That doesn't sound right. But yeah, it's very helpful. And what it does when you water your trees is that it keeps the sap flowing in your trees. It keeps your leaves hydrated, your branches hydrated. So when that cold wind comes, it doesn't desiccate your leaf. It doesn't dry, because that's what damages your leaves. It ain't the cold itself. It's that cold wind that pulls that moisture out of the leaf, and that's why they get brown, they get dry. Not really actually the cold. So if you keep your tree well saturated, it's gonna have a higher hydration pressure, and that's gonna really help. Trust me, it's gonna help. I've done it. I have trees that are in moister areas, and I have never covered those trees. And yet my other trees, which I did not water, they had damage. So I know there's truth to it. It takes a little work, because you're gonna have to keep an eye on your weather forecast. You have to make sure that you see if there's gonna be a dip in a few days. You have to be out here watering your trees and make sure that they're well saturated. Don't try to do it all in one day. No, you have to deep water your trees. So you have to be coming out here, let's say 3 or 4 days before that actual cold drop comes. So that way it's easier for you, instead of you trying to, get all that dirt, real wet that day before. No, that'll take you further. Keep your trees slightly hydrated. Now, a lot of people, especially if you're a mango tree grower, you're gonna say, no, you can't keep your trees wet. They ain't gonna bloom for you. They ain't gonna bloom for you. But now think about it. If I don't do this and my tree gets wiped out and I have to stump that tree down because all the canopy got burnt, I'm gonna have to wait 2 years for that tree to regrow, and hopefully on that second year she will bloom for me. If not, it'll be the third year. I would rather have a tree that doesn't bloom for me, and I don't have to wait 2 or 3 years. Think about it. You can't be greedy. We're trying to save the trees. We're trying to keep ahead of the game, not behind the game. You know what I mean? So think about that. If you have to water your trees to keep them, healthy, to keep them from getting the cold damage, hey, do it. Do it, guys. Get out here a few days beforehand. Make sure that you start really deep watering. Okay? Deep watering. Keep the soil area, keep it moist, because it's all about the hydration. It's all about keeping that water pressure in the leaves and the branches, keeping it at a higher level. Okay? Because usually in the winter time, when we go through this kind of drought and there's no rain, they're at a lower level in terms of hydration. So that's why you have to do that. And it will help. That's all I'm going to do this year. I'm not going to cover anything. I might get a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be as severe. And I don't care if I get a little leaf damage. That's fine. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, guys. That's going to be my approach, because I no longer wrap stuff. Anything small like these potted things, yeah, I definitely will put those in my greenhouse. I have a greenhouse with a heater in it, so any potted stuff, yeah, definitely I do not leave that out. They go in my greenhouse. But trees like this that I used to put a canopy, I used to wrap them, yeah, I'm not gonna do all of that. It's I can't be out here. That takes time, and I don't enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't enjoy it. So all I'm trying to do right now, because I am in a spot where I can, is to hydrate them well, and they'll be good. As long as temperature doesn't go into the 20s, if I hydrate them well, they can come out of that cold snap, and you wouldn't even know that they were in a cold snap. Let me show you a tree over here. It's my honey kiss. Excuse the mess here. Okay, my honey kiss. I've never covered this tree because it's in a spot over here where it stays moist. So if you look, I also have more trees planted on here. This is what I call my mango hedge. These 3 trees. Okay. But the thing about the honey kiss is that it was next to my AC, and my AC would always constantly drain into the area that it's in. So that part of the soil where it's at, it's more hydrated. And I've never covered that tree. That's a 4-year-old tree, or maybe even 5 years. I've never covered it. And every time the other trees would get damaged and that tree would not get damaged, I say, what's going on? What's up with that tree? You know, and that's my conclusion. That is my conclusion. So, no more wrapping for me. No more canopies. Trees are taller than me, and I just don't, I can't do it anymore. So, guys, hydrate. Hydrate. Give it a try. Really soak those trees. Don't worry about, hey, your blooms and it's not gonna bloom. Hey, nature has a way of doing what it needs to do. So even if you water your trees, you're still probably gonna get blooms. I'm sure you're gonna get blooms because I water my trees even in the winter time and I get blooms. So these are my mango trees. As you can see, they're getting big. All right, guys, so that was just my little rant about cold and my experience with the cold and what I plan to do. These little trees, yeah, they're gonna all go in the greenhouse. Anything containers I put into my greenhouse. Let me go over to the greenhouse, show you guys real quick. If you've been following me, you know I got this greenhouse. This is basically the reason for this greenhouse, is just to put stuff in the winter time. During the summer, you can't really put plants in here, but it's storage pretty much. And so everything comes in here. Got fans for circulation, and this is my little heater. I had this heater for years. It's a Doctor heater, very good heater. Set that to where you want. You set it here, and it'll automatically kick on. You don't have to do anything. When it gets a certain temperature, it's gonna kick on for you. And it keeps this greenhouse very warm. Keeps it nice and snug once I close that door. And I can put a lot of plants in here. As you can see, I can load her up in there. All right, guys, so take it easy. Thank you for listening to my little rants. You guys take care. It's Orlando Backyard Gardening, signing off, y'all.